What's up everybody, my name is Light. In this video we are going to be building a castle. This is actually the same world that our Kingdom of Colorum and the village that we're currently working on is in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my channel and check out the videos that I'm showing on screen right now. Once our village series is completed, I'm going to make this world available for all of you to download and explore for yourselves. That means that you will have access to the Kingdom of Colorum, the village, and now the Lost Castle. I'm calling this castle the Lost Castle because I don't want it to be inhabited. I kind of think of this place as a relic of the past, a historical space that people from the kingdom and the village travel to look and marvel at the castle. This castle is a long-forgotten place that hasn't been used for centuries. While the village and the kingdom are thriving communities that trade with each other, this castle is unused and forgotten by many. However, it still stands here, or at least you'll see that it still stands here once we're done building it. My entire point is, I just really wanted this place to feel very mystical and forgotten, hence the name, The Lost Castle. Anyways, let's start talking about this project. As you could see while I was talking, I used different color wool to lay out the plan for this castle. I also used that wool to figure out just how high I want all of the towers to rise into the air. Once the layout of all the wool was finished, I went over with a large variety of blocks, including deep slate bricks, andesite, tuff, stone bricks, and stone. I used World Edit to randomize how all these blocks appear across all the facades of each tower. This causes the castle to look like it's almost in decay, but obviously it's still standing up. But it's supposed to look like it's not as well kept as it might have been centuries ago. One of the things I was nervous about with this project was the roof. As you can see now, I used red nether bricks, mangrove wood, and acacia wood to create a gradient of blocks that makes the castle appear like the color is beginning to fade away. I didn't know how I felt about this color scheme at first, but it's really grown on me a lot, and it actually looks amazing in shaders, which you'll see at the end of the video. I didn't really have a set idea for what I wanted this place to look like, but I had a rough idea in my mind of the colors I wanted to use and the vibe that I want this place to give off. And I'm trying to convey that feeling with a very gothic design for all of the windows and entryways. To make movement around the castle more engaging, I made sure to add multiple ways to get between each of the towers. This mainly meant that I would be adding bridges between a lot of the towers that were raised into the air to add elevation to the overall castle. I also played around with this idea of a staircase intersecting out of this smaller tower and rising up to a higher floor. I think that this makes the castle way more engaging because it offers you choice as to where you want to go next. I didn't want all the windows of each tower to be the same, so I made sure to edit them to my liking, just to add some more variation. After adding more windows and walkways, I went around to the back of the main castle hall and began working on bridges back there. I also finished up replacing the wool that was on the main castle hall with stone and andesite and stone bricks. Then I added windows to the top of the facade of the main hall and went around to the other towers of the castle and copy and pasted some windows there. Because we only have one diagonally set tower, I wouldn't be able to simply copy and paste the windows onto this one. Instead, I had to build some custom windows and frames just for this one tower. I didn't have too much space to work with, which made making the framing and windows very difficult as they had to be pretty small. But nonetheless, I think I made them fit and they look pretty good. And here we are back at the main castle hall. I added some framing to the windows outside, and then I went inside to begin creating the floor for this main hall. I also made this really cool bridge that intersects with a spiral staircase, allowing movement from both sides of the castle and from the ground up to a higher floor that I'll build later in the main castle hall. I had this idea for the largest tower that's going to be rising up into the sky. Obviously, we need a way to get up to the top of this tower, and I had this idea of using staircases and intersecting them with the walls of the building, wrapping around and spiraling up to the top of the tower. These staircases go into each floor of the interior building, offering views around nearly the entire tower from the outside and giving you access to each floor inside the tower. I also went ahead and added some decoration for the interior. I don't have recordings of all the interior builds inside the towers, but you can rest assured that I completed all of the interiors of every single part of this build. I really love how that tower turned out. It looks really sick, and it's a lot of fun to travel up through. If you ever download and explore this world for yourself, I promise you, you will get lost. It may not look incredibly massive, but it's actually really intricate, and all the hallways and interiors have very complex ways of connecting with each other, which I think really adds to that mystical feeling I was trying to achieve with this build. You can see me now coming away from the castle and starting to work on the natural decorations of the exterior. I did this by using different foliage and flowers to spruce up the outside. I also used a palette of moss blocks and mud to replace the grass that I thought just seemed too monotonous for this build. Using that variety of blocks really adds a lot more interest as you're walking around the castle grounds. And to finalize this part, I built this cool bridge that I wasn't sure about at first, but now, just like the roofs, it's really grown on me. I also used the new mushroom light blocks that were introduced actually a while ago, so I guess they're not too new, but I quite like how they turned out. And once I was done with that, I went back to the castle and started adding more windows and facades to all the walls. I wanted to have some really beautiful looking stained glass in a lot of the windows of the castle, and I played around with red and orange glass blocks and paints. Eventually, I came up with a lot of designs that I'm really happy with, and I think they add a lot of character to our build. Once those two giant windows were done, I went to the front facade of the castle and started working on the windows there. Using deep slate walls and dark oak fences, trapdoors, and stairs, I made these super intricate borders to frame our windows. Unfortunately, I lost the recording of me putting the roof onto the castle, but I promise you didn't miss too much. All you missed was me placing that red nether brick, mangrove, and acacia wood. It's honestly not too bad, and I'm just glad that that's the only recording I lost in this whole process. So once I had that roof in place, I wanted to add something of interest there because it just felt too flat and boring for me. So I built these giant windows on both sides of the castle roof that reach out and also contain more stained glass. I really love how all this stained glass turned out, and honestly, it might be some of my favorite parts of this build. I think that the color of the stained glass really goes well with the roof, and both of them visualize each other's qualities very well. Once that was done, it was time to do the interior of the main castle hall. I kind of went all out for this and spent a crazy amount of time decorating the interior of this main room. I came up with a design for a chandelier using mangrove fences and end rods, and then copy and pasted that design a couple of times throughout the ceiling. I wanted to have some dining tables that past residents may have used for banquets and other types of ceremonies. I even designed a couple of versions of banners using red and orange designs and placed them all along the walls. Once that interior was done, I came back outside the castle and finished up adding all of the foliage and trees and fixed up the custom rivers that you saw me place down earlier. And with that, our castle is complete. I love how this build came out so much, and it is so fun to walk around and explore this thing for yourself. I promise you, you will get lost, but you'll be lost in a fun way, if that makes sense. The amount of detail that I added in here, I feel, is just absurd. Everywhere that you look, there is something new to see. And although I didn't show all of it in the video because it just would have been too much, but I feel that I added enough so that you get a general idea of what all the interiors look like. Like I said, if you want to see this castle for yourself and explore it in your own way, be sure to stay tuned and subscribe for when we finish our Let's Build a Village series. After that village is complete, I am going to be releasing the world download for all of you to download and explore for yourself. I really hope that all of you enjoyed watching me build this, because I had a lot of fun doing it. You may not believe it, but this video took me hundreds of hours to make. I put a lot of work into my builds, and I kind of obsess over all the details and compositions, because that's just how much I love doing this. So if you feel like supporting me, please consider subscribing and especially liking this video. And just check out this castle with shaders on. The stained glass windows at night look fantastic. I love the way that you can see all the lights and chandeliers glowing in the dark and casting colors from the stained glass out into the world. Comment down below what your favorite part of this castle is, or just say anything you want. I love hearing feedback about my builds. I can never overstate how much I love all of the feedback that I get from you guys. It really makes me feel loved knowing that you guys appreciate these builds as much as I enjoy making them. I'm really happy to be back making videos a bit more frequently, and I hope you guys stay tuned to see what else I have in store for you. Now that we have an entire kingdom with its own castle, this castle, and a village in progress, this world is really starting to come together and feel very lived in and real, and I just love the atmosphere that it gives off. It is so fun to explore this world and travel between the kingdom, village, and now the lost castle. Like I said before, I really hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, subscribe, and share with your friends. Comment down below anything you want, or any ideas that you have for me to build in the future, or suggestions or feedback. I really just love hearing from you guys, and I love engaging with my audience. You guys are awesome, and I really mean that. I also want to say thank you so much for helping me reach 1.7 thousand subscribers. It is so insane to see the amount of growth that this channel has gotten in just the past couple months. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.